Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There's something God wants you to hear today. It's one of those rare moments of clarity that can appear in the middle of life's chaos, where even if the storm hasn't passed, something inside you whispers, this moment is different. This is alignment. And I don't say that lightly, because I understand what it feels like to question whether you're on the right path, or to wonder if there's even a path at all. Sometimes life feels like a string of fragile moments you're desperately trying to hold together, without letting it all fall apart. But what if I told you this? God has already made the way. Not someday, not possibly, but it's already in place. Here's what many people don't realize. Just because the path exists doesn't mean it always feels easy to walk. The biggest challenge isn't always what lies ahead. It's learning to trust the ground under your feet when you can only see a few steps in front of you. And that's where so many of us get stuck, not due to a lack of faith, but because we've been conditioned to stay in control. We've been taught to plan every move, to have a strategy for every possible outcome, even a backup for our backup plan. And that constant managing, it's exhausting, like trying to consciously monitor every breath you take. Think about it. The moment you focus too much on your breathing, you begin to question, am I doing it right? Too shallow? Too deep? Nose or mouth? But the moment you let go and stop overthinking, your breath settles into its natural rhythm, steady, wise, and made to sustain you. Without your interference, life works the same way. Trying to micromanage every outcome is like attempting to direct your immune system cell by cell, or making sure your blood flows the right way through your veins. It's not needed. God already designed the system to work, and not just function, but thrive, with or without your control. That same intelligence that keeps your heart beating when you sleep, it's also guiding your path even when your eyes can't see it clearly. And yet I know that ache inside, that part of you that wonders if you've missed something, if maybe you weren't listening closely enough. But let me tell you with absolute certainty, you haven't missed anything. You're not late. You're not behind. You're just holding your breath in a life that's asking you to exhale and trust. Because when you feel lost, it's usually not because the path is gone. It's because we're trying so hard to force the map to match what we imagined, that we miss the divine instructions that were already sent straight to our heart. What if your next step isn't about solving the problem, but about surrendering the pressure? You don't need to create the way. You only need to walk it. It sounds simple, right? And I know it's so much harder when life has taught you that you have to fight for everything, when trust feels like a luxury instead of a birthright. But just for a moment, notice this. How does your body feel when you stop trying to fix life and just let it breathe? That unclenching in your chest, that slight release in your jaw, that is the beginning of flow. And flow doesn't come from knowing every step. It comes from trusting the one who laid them out for you long before you arrived here. Trust isn't a weakness. It's a supernatural strength, especially when it's quiet, especially when it's not rewarded immediately. And you, my dear friend, you've been growing in silence, blossoming without applause, choosing alignment over approval. And maybe no one else has said this lately, but I see you. I see how far and I see the path lighting up ahead of you, whether or not you believe you're ready for it. And if this message is settling into your soul, leave a 777 in the comments as an act of agreement, a spiritual nod that says, I recognize the peace in this moment. You see, once you truly grasp that God already made the way, everything changes. It's not that life suddenly becomes effortless. It's that you stop wasting your energy trying to carry what was never yours to lift. You begin to recognize that clarity isn't always loud. Sometimes it's as quiet as your own breath, reminding you that you are supported even in stillness. And what if that uncomfortable pause you've been in, the delay, the confusion, the restlessness, wasn't punishment or failure? What if it was God preparing your nervous system for peace after years of survival? That's the kind of precision God moves with. Every detail accounted for. Every setback secretly sacred. Every moment you thought was wasted time was actually sacred time. Unseen growth, realignment, a divine recalibration. But here's the wild part. We often only realize it was alignment after we've walked through it. Like when you look back and suddenly understand why that door had to close, why that person left, why that failure was the only thing that could have humbled you enough to receive what you have now. It's never random. It's never chaos. It's orchestration. God doesn't do guesswork. And I know this isn't always easy to believe in the middle of the process, especially when your emotions don't yet match the truth, when your heart still wants answers, and your mind is spinning in circles. But you know what's stronger than all of that? Stillness. Not the absence of motion, but the presence of trust. Because when you're flowing with God, you start to notice something magical. Opportunities that were once impossible suddenly open up. People you were meant to meet cross your path without your effort. Decisions feel easier, not because the choices are simpler, but because your spirit is finally at peace with letting go of control. You don't need to force what's already yours. You don't need to chase down what God already placed in your path. And if you have to beg it, squeeze it, or manipulate it, it's not meant for you. Not in that form, not in that moment, because when something is aligned for you, you won't need to fight for it. With anxiety, you'll meet it with calm knowing. That doesn't mean you won't work, but it means your effort won't come from fear. It will come from flow, and flow is not passive. It's not doing nothing. It's deeply active in a different way. It's walking forward even when your hands are shaking. It's showing up even when you don't have the whole script. It's releasing the grip in your muscles and choosing just for today to trust the current instead of swimming upstream. Let me ask you something and really feel into this. When was the last time you let go long enough for God's grace to move in the silence? When was the last time you stopped editing your path and allowed God to take the pen? Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is not take more action, but allow the next moment to unfold without your interference. To sit back spiritually and say, God, I trust the road even when I don't see the signs yet. Because this path you're on, it's not random. It was tailor-made for your growth, your freedom, your joy, and your role in all of this isn't to construct the bridge. It's to cross it one step at a time, with reverence, with trust, with your eyes wide open and your heart even wide. The muscles you've built through struggle, you're not going to lose them just because life gets softer. In fact, your softness now becomes your power, your peace becomes your signal, and your surrender becomes your launch pad. You're not here to figure everything out. You're here to align, to listen, to respond when the time feels right. And trust me, that time is coming. You're closer than you think. In fact, some of you are already there. You just haven't realized it because it doesn't look the way you imagined. But that doesn't mean it's not the destination. It just means it's higher than your old expectations could reach. So I'll leave you with this. If there's a voice in you that's been quietly whispering, go, this is your confirmation. If there's a door that keeps showing up, even if it feels scary, that might be the. And if there's a part of you that's ready to finally stop clenching and start flowing, just breathe. Let the intelligence that designed your body remind you that you are safe to stop trying so hard. The path is already here. The only thing left to do is breathe into the next step. I'm proud of you for even being here, for listening this far, for holding space for this truth. Even if your life still feels messy, that's spiritual maturity. That's alignment in action. And it doesn't go unnoticed. By God, by the angels, and by the people who will one day thank you for walking this path first. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you.